Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy Jay Rhymes here, and I kind of always wanted to do like a breakdown of a song. I think it's a large gap from what people who don't create music or films or anything. It's a large gap between what you think goes on in their mind and what actually goes on in their mind. So I've always wanted to do a video like this breaking down my songs. I'm really passionate about anything that's dealing with writing and creating, to include music. I don't do this for fame. I don't try to push this channel out to the world or anything like that. I'm like there's a guy somewhere in New York in his studio apartment with his shirt off and ripped up jeans, painting the hell out of the world's greatest paintings, and he's not trying to market and push them out to the world. He just really likes to paint, and I really like to express myself. That's why a lot of my songs are deal in reality. So I want to do the latest song I did, Meet Me In Montauk. Is one of my favorite songs, which would probably surprise people. I have like 10,000 songs I've created. It was one of my favorite songs. So I want to break down what happened to create this song. So we must go back to the beginning. The first day I saw Drake's video, Nice for What. So there's two things that I really love that Drake did on Nice for What. The first thing is he shed light on the New Orleans bounce music. This has been, without a doubt, my favorite kind of music ever. Anybody that knows me knows I'm obsessed. When you start playing stuff in the club, that New Orleans bounce music, I've been going crazy ever since I was in the Air Force, stationed in San Antonio and stationed in San Angelo. That's when I first heard it, because a lot of Texas music stems from that New Orleans bounce back in those days. But ever since I heard it, I didn't know what it was. It sort of sounded like Miami kind of music, but it was more crowd dancing than like girls dancing, like twerking or whatever. So I really loved it, and I love that Drake was able to infuse New Orleans bounce music on Nice for What with emotions. I think guys get it wrong. They think they think women like Drake's song Nice for What because of the music. But listen to what he's saying. He's saying stuff that's very relatable to women, that they need to hear, and he's empowering women, and saying emotional stuff, or lifting someone up as they go through a breakup. So when I heard Drake do this, he got my favorite kind of music in there, and he's mixing in emotions. I've never seen anybody do that with dance kind of music. I wanted to do it, so I instantly took Drake's song and I made the song Separated. And I like Separated, but it's not my song. No matter how much I like it, it's not my song. So I wanted to get my song. So shout out to the producers of this right here. They actually want to push this. So with them actually wanting to push Meet Me in Montauk, of course, I'm going to have to go to a real studio and record it professionally, so it won't sound like what you hear. It will sound like a real recording. So the New Orleans throwback in the song, before I even get to, well, now let's go back. A lot of people know me as being very lyrical, or being a lyricist or whatever. And you may notice that I'm just chanting in this song, and that was strategically done on purpose. If you go listen to New Orleans bounce music, such as artists such as Big Frida and DJ Jubilee, they don't rap, they chant. They chant like the rappers in Miami, Uncle Al, Luke. I've always wanted to make a song like that. I know people thought that was simple, but I'm like, if you're so lyrical, I want to make a song. Can I make people interested if I just chant through an entire song? So I purposely wanted to rap like New Orleans to show homage. There's another thing I did to show homage. I said direct lines from them. When you hear me say dabba dabba do, I'm not going crazy. That's Frida's saying. That's what they got famous for in their song, Inno Bounce. So I'll play some of that Inno Bounce for you. Also, when you hear me say bouncing like a servant, sit or walking like a servant, oh yeah, chill. That's DJ Jubilee.
I walking like a saver, like a bouncer, like a ticket, like a walker, like a saver, like a bouncer, like a yeah. Walking like a saver, like a bouncer, like a ticket, like a walker, like a saver. Monkey on a stick, monkey on a stick, a monkey on a stick. Yeah, monkey on a stick, a monkey on a stick. Yeah, monkey on a stick, a monkey on a stick. Yeah, monkey on a stick, and now serve it, serve it, serve it, serve it, serve it, serve it, serve it.
From I can't remember the name of the song, but I put their direct lines in the song to show that I'm showing homage to this kind of music. So that takes care of that. The other part of the song is emotions. I wanted to show an emotional depth to the song, so you can pretty much tell from the lyrics the song is about somebody going through a breakup and they don't want to go through a breakup. But I felt right at the end as far as the song. I just, even though I wanted to make a song chanting throughout the entire song, I just felt like I needed at least 8 bars to almost feel like I'm crying through the lyrics to encompass that this person doesn't want to be in the position that they are in, and they're in extreme pain. So I did want to do that to end the song. Now, here's the interesting thing. This was kind of backwards. Meet Me at Montauk was a music video that came in my mind while driving before I wrote any lyric. So I'm going to explain it to you all. When I heard this beat, I don't know why, but I imagined a music video with one single shot camera. One single shot camera means once you see it, it goes around, it moves, but it never cuts from one shot to another. So the camera will follow whoever is in the video the entire video. And how I write my songs, I just play a beat while I'm driving and different stuff come to me. So instead of words coming to me, it was just visual. So I'm going to give you all this whole music video for Meet Me in Montauk. And when I give you all this whole music video, I want you to know that I made this music video up in my mind before I wrote any lyric, before I came downstairs to write anything. So I don't know why, but I had a vision of a camera scrolling through a grocery store, a supermarket. I don't know why I thought of this. I can't explain to you all. As this camera one shot goes through, I'm like, it gotta be somebody in the freaking fucking video. So the camera's scrolling through and I see a guy, no, I see a woman and she looks very, very upset. So I'm thinking, I just made the song separated. If we talk about like a breakup or whatever, if somebody really don't want to be in the position that they're in, you want somebody to know you're going to always be there for them. You want that shot back. Anything you need, I'm there. Hell, you go grocery shopping, I want to be on the end of the aisle. All right, so cool. I'm already visualizing the grocery store anyway. So what if a woman walks in and the camera's on her? She's sad. You see her shopping and the camera stops on her face and she looks up and she gets angry. I want to know, as a person watching this, why is this woman angry? So the camera scrolls and goes through everything on the aisle and gets all the way at the end, and you see this sad guy. That's when I wrote, "You can find me at the end of the aisle you want." And I just would ride in my car saying that. "You can find me at the end of the aisle you want." So as the camera pans to him, it pans back to her, all one shot. And she's still looking mad. And she storms off, and the camera follows her as she storms off, following her down the aisles. And it looks like she's looking for something frantically. But every time she tries to make that turn to get on the aisle, you see him in the background. He's on every aisle she's on. She's getting frustrated. And then when it gets to like the middle part, she decides to walk down the aisle. She's like, I'm just going to ignore him. And she's looking on the shelf of stuff. And then she looks back at him again. And when she looks at him, there's strippers twerking all around him. They just twerk right there in the grocery store on the aisle, and he's just still standing there. He's not looking at the strippers. They're all on the side of him on the aisle. But he's just still looking at her sad. And then as the camera leaves the strippers, they go back to her, and she's looking really, really pissed. What that encompasses, or what it stands for, is how guys would go to a club, or they would be around strippers, or they would be around women when they try to mask the pain of being hurt or being upset. Most guys do that shit. They don't want to be there. So when the camera pans back to her and she's upset, it pans back to him, and instantly in one camera shot. The camera never cuts. It's all the whole video is one camera shot. When it pans back to him, the women are gone. And the women are gone, and he kind of looked like he didn't say anything. He just like looked down like this right here, and before he can say something, the camera instantly goes back to her, and she runs off the aisle upset. So the camera follows her. She runs off the aisle upset. She goes back on another aisle. On the other aisle, of course, we the audience already knows he's gonna be there again. No big surprise. So he's there. But this time, the camera goes all the way closer and closer to him, to his face, and his face is changing. He's looking horrified, like what the hell? Then the camera pans back to her, and 3 masked men in the grocery store are standing behind her, and they begin to attack her like this crazy one-shot, awesome choreographed kung fu fight on an aisle with this beautiful woman and 3 masked men, and she's taking them on. They're getting some licks in, like showing them hit her, but she's flipping one of them over. She's fighting these guys off, and then she's fighting these guys off. Remember, this video is one camera pan shot. The camera pans back to him, and he's almost quivering. He's so hurt. You can see in his face that he wants to go help. And if you watch his music video, you're like, well, why won't he go help her? He won't go help her because that encompasses, when you're in a relationship, what makes 2 people work together is that one person is always good at something, the other person isn't. So you gain that from being in a relationship. If I was a single, I wouldn't have that. But because I'm with this person, this objective is now easier because they're good at it. So what I'm encompassing by her fighting these guys off and him standing there is he's basically saying, if this is real life, if you have a girl and she call you and she like, yo, my tire flat, you go fix it. Bam, get the tire straight, bam, she on the way. Thank you, I love my man good to me, love my man. But now you break up and you call your guy, you just broke up with him, and say, yo, my tire flat, and he like, you can't be calling me to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn to live separately. You wanted to split. You wanted to break up. This is the reality of us breaking up. So to encompass that in this music video, he's on the aisle and he wants to help, and he doesn't. So you see this woman in this crazy kung fu fight on this fucking New Orleans bounce Lauryn Hill track, and as she's fighting these guys off, you know, you can see him in the background, and all of a sudden you see him walk closer and closer and closer. And as he gets close in all of their proximity, all of the guys fighting her instantly fall down and die. They're just instantly like, whoo. He don't swing or nothing. He just walking to her looking sad, slowly walking to her. And they just fall out and die. And what that encompasses, again, your partner does stuff that you probably can't do. It may be hard for you, but it was easy for them. That's what they bring to the relationship. You trying to open that fucking jar of pickles. You doing everything in the world, and your partner come open it. That's what that encompasses. So as they fall down, he's sort of been close to her. You know, he's got this sad look on his face. He wants to move closer. He wants that relationship. And you can see in her face the pain, her breathing hard, little cut right there, that she loves him. She does love him. Half of her wants to be with him, but the other half is still standoffish. So she runs away. She runs off the aisle. But for this final shot of the video, when she runs off the aisle this time, the camera doesn't follow her. The camera stays on him, and he holds his head down. And right there, you know, he's pretty much defeated. He's not going to bother her anymore. So he walks the opposite way down the aisle, getting ready to leave the store. And when he walks on the other aisle, the camera shows the shocking look on his face. He's just shocked. We, the audience, want to know why he's shocked. So he starts walking slowly and slowly down the aisle. And if you look in the background, you can see all kind of women products or whatever. You know, maybe the third time you watch a video, you can start to see like the ending coming before it comes. But he gets to the middle of the aisle, and this time he's face to face with her, and she's holding a box for a pregnancy test. And that's how the video will go off. He finally puts his arm around her, she cries, and then the camera pans away as they get smaller and smaller, and you see everybody else shopping around in this grocery store going past him as he's holding her. Also, what I can do is, as it pans away, It could show the previous aisle they were on. Those guys still knocked out. Well, that's small stuff, whatever. But everything I just told you, all of that was in my mind before I made a single word of the song. So having this visual in my mind, it kind of guided me. And then everything starts to make sense. You know why I'm rapping the way I'm rapping. You know why I'm chanting the way I'm chanting. You know the story that I'm trying to tell. But for people who would like to know a bit further, one of my favorite director of all time is Charlie Kaufman. I'm obsessed with all of his films, his movies, and one of my favorite films he made was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and that's the Jim Carrey movie with Kate Winslet that you see playing in my video. And this movie is about a man who goes to see his girlfriend and she don't know who he is. She has no clue who he is because she went to this new doctor that can take a person and mentally remove every memory of only that person out of your mind. And so she had him removed because they had a terrible relationship. They argued all the time. So he's sad and he's hurt. The only way he can get over this is maybe he should go get her erased out of his mind. So the entire film, he's asleep. And what you're seeing in the film is his dreams, his memories with her. And they start erasing her from each memory. She just starts disappearing and he's left there alone. And he realizes while he's asleep, he still loves her. He don't want to forget her forever. He wants to remember who she is. So he starts trying to hide her in other memories. So let's say he was a little boy. He stick her there when he was a little boy. But the doctors who's working on him, they're very good. They're finding her as the whole movie goes. They're finding her, erasing her, finding her, erasing her. And on my video, you see them sitting on the steps, and it was they erased every memory out of his head of her except for the first day he met her. And on the steps, if you could read their mouths on my music video, she's saying, this is it, this is the end, this is the last memory you have of me. And she says, what should we do? And he tells her, he just says we should enjoy it. He mentally was defeated, he mentally gave up. He knows, when he wakes up in the morning, she's gone forever. He's not going to know who she is. And as they get down to the final memory, the final thing she do, she tells him, she whispers, "Meet me in Montauk." So he wakes up, he has no idea who she is. He wakes up and she's gone, and you wanted this couple to win the entire movie. And what you realize is that the first scene in the film, she has blue hair. That was after he woke up. So when you get to the end of the movie, you realize, like, damn it, he went through all of this to erase her. As soon as he wakes up, he sees her because something in his head, he doesn't know why, with all her memories gone, something told this guy to go to Montauk today because she whispered, "Meet me in Montauk." And there they are, two strangers meet each other, flirting, liking each other. All that money, everything they did to try to erase each other, there they are right there, have no clue who each other are. And that chemistry builds. Some people are just destined to be together no matter what. And I love the unique way that Charlie Kaufman wanted to push this message out. And sometimes I think even though that's like fiction, it realistically, I feel that about people. Sometimes you have to go back to the beginning to get to where you want to in the future if you are in a relationship. So if you mix, that film, you can start seeing why in my song I'm chanting the New Orleans kind of chant, bad memory gone out my head, bye bye memory gone. Let me tell you guys something. When I wrote that, I was just thinking about how in a normal relationship, when you break up, you want those bad memories to go out of your head. It didn't hit me until I'm sitting on YouTube watching the video, as you guys watch the video, that that kind of relates to the movie too, because Jim Carrey is getting his memories removed. There's those subconscious things that come into your head when you start writing. That fits the movie perfectly, but I did not write that line thinking about that movie at that time. But yeah, that's how I created this song. So you may see something that lasts only 3 minutes, or maybe something little. When you start getting into a mind of a writer, there's a lot of lot of complex things that comes together to create a song. So I really, really like this one. I'm gonna record it again over professionally. I rarely record professionally. Most of the time, I record my songs right down here in this room. But I'm gonna record that one professionally. I just want to hear how that would sound as a true song with engineers hooking, giving me the hookup and everything. But that's it. I'm gonna start doing these a lot. I'll go back in the past on some of my songs, and then I'll do those. I'll do the ones that has the most interesting backstory. I will tell you guys how I created it. But thank you guys for checking me out, and I'll catch you next time.